going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the radio that I use. You guys asked me a lot, Eddie, I bought some Kenwood radios and they do not work, specifically the handhelds. You're talking about these because they're nice, they're cheap, they're easy, but when you get this, they do not work for the frequencies that you will use, and I will show you and explain to you why now. But before I do, it was a beautiful and successful desert trip with Can-Am, all Dirty Max over there. She's finally all nice and clean. Can-Am is all finally nice and clean, and I hope guys we can get some more trips in, just because it was hot out there and it's getting hotter, so I hope by our next trip it's not 90 degrees, because it sucks riding when it's 90 degrees out there. Alright guys, so the reason why we buy these radios and not the actual radio, like the rugged radio or the Racer X radio in this version, is because in the handheld, that rugged radio is probably a ridiculous price, and it's not worth buying that when you can simply go buy one of these Kenwoods. Again, this is a ham radio, and modify it. And I have the steps here to modify it. It's not that difficult. And yes, I know you guys see the red Razor back there. It's not mine, it's a customer's. It's got like a cracked frame on it, so we gotta fix it. But I picked this up from Ham Radio Outlet for I think $129. And this is the one that you guys see that Ryan uses in my videos. They work great, they're waterproof, sandproof, very rugged, very durable. But when you guys get them, I'll show you. You turn them on. We use the Racer X frequencies, the 151, 715, all like the BFG relay and all that stuff. And with these radios, as you guys see here, I don't know if you guys can see this here. So you see here, so when I try to push to talk, nothing. No transmit at all. It's just beeps. Okay? Now, if you go to the ham frequencies, which are 144 through 148. To use those frequencies though, you have to have a ham radio operating license. So we're not going to use those though, and the reason why is because those frequencies are nice because you can use a repeater tower. So you can talk from here to Florida, San Diego to Florida, or Florida to Washington, or wherever. I mean, I'm not a ham genius. I don't know exactly how it works, but I know when you're in the 144 to 148 frequencies, you can connect to the repeater towers depending on which frequency you're at. And I'll show you. If we go to those frequencies, so now I just went to a ham frequency, which is, if you guys can see it here, the there you go, 147, 160. Now when I push this button, see, transmit. Also you'll see the red light up here, transmit. So these will only work, guys, through 144 to 148 without you modifying. Now we are going to modify this radio today. Now also, you guys might ask me, Eddie, why don't you guys just use one of these in your truck instead of having the big Kenwood that's in the truck with the antenna that's sitting there hanging off? Well, the problem, guys, is this radio is a 5-watt radio. The one that's in my truck is a 65-watt radio. So it's got a lot more power. It goes way further than this one will. Now, they are still, it is still line of sight if you're using the frequencies that we use, not the ham frequencies that use a repeater. But this line of sight goes extremely far. I have talked to, you guys know Mr. Alculator. I've been at the desert, just leaving the desert, and the Alculator was, he left early and he was heading up the grades. And, I mean, that's pretty much an hour away from the desert. It's quite a ways away. And I was talking to him from my truck, and he was, in the middle of the grades, and we were talking back and forth. With these, we have some people that come out with us that use these radios, and we can hear them, but when they get, far away from us, we can't hear them. They come in staticky, they come in blurry, and it's just not as clear as having a big one with an actual big antenna on it. Those work much better, and they got way more watts. And I got that whole setup, I think, for $150 or $155. It's not that expensive. Compared to buying one of these, yeah, there's about $129, but the advantage of this is, you can put it in your pocket, you can take it with you anywhere you want. These are, you know, they're nice to have. You got your pros and your cons with having one of these, and you got your pros and your cons with having one in the truck. And again, with the one on my truck, when you buy that, that does not work either. You are going to have to modify it, and that's where, you know, what we're going to do here, and that's why I printed this out, because this is going to let you know what to pull out to modify this radio. Now let's modify this now so you guys, if you want to use the specific frequencies that you guys want to use, you'll be able to use it without hearing the beep. Alright guys, first things first here. Here's step 1 through 8. Turn off the transceiver and remove the battery pack. Okay, so we got it off. Remove battery pack. And again guys, this video I am making is for the Kenwood handheld radio. I am not making this for a Yaesu or Toshiba or anything like that. This is just for the Kenwood. So first thing, and if you guys are wondering, it is the Kenwood THK20A. There you go. Don't know if you guys can read that. Alright, then second, remove the antenna, channel selector knob, and volume knob. So it is going to be some taking stuff apart. Don't be scared. This stuff is really not that difficult. And to, what does it want? To remove the antenna and channel selector. So all you do with these, they just pop right out. They're not screwed in or anything like that. They just pull out like this. Pull out like that. So set those aside here. And what we're doing here, guys, is we're just removing a diode that is in here that is not allowing us to get to the frequency that we're trying to get to. Alright guys, so now step 3, remove the side jack accessory covers. That's going to be these little guys right here. So pop these guys out like this. You don't got to pull them all the way out, just pop them out. And again, you will need a Phillips head screwdriver and a little pick to remove the diode out. What we are doing is we're going to pop a diode out, and what that's going to do is that's going to give us frequencies to be able to use the whole radio. The transmitting range of this radio is going to be 136 to 173. Now that we've popped these out, and step 4, remove the 2 screws from the bottom of the radio of the back. That's these 2 right here. Let me zoom in for you guys. I don't know if you can see this clearly. Try to do as clear as possible for you guys. So we're going to remove the 2 screws back here. And guys, make sure you get the right size screw, because if you do not, you're going to strip these screws. They will not go back in proper, and you're going to be hating life because your radio is going to be loose, and that's going to suck. Okay, step 5. Carefully lift the front panel up from the chassis. Start at the bottom of the radio. Be careful. Do not damage the speaker wires as you're opening the radio. Step 6. Locate and carefully remove the diode, referring D from the TX/RX unit. See figure 1. Then assemble, and bada bing bada boom. That's it. So let's go with step 5. Carefully lift the front of the panel. Alright, so let's see. We're just gonna, I would just grab right here. Let me zoom in for you guys. There you go. And just go easy. Nothing. You should not have to force anything at all. See, if you pull too hard, you will rip these wires and you will damage the speaker. So you see those 2 wires right there, guys? Right there. You want to be very, very careful. Do not rip those. And I'm sure you can't take them apart, but it's a pain. I'm not going to. As you guys see here, they are soldered here and soldered there. So you don't need to take it apart. What I do is I just set it to the side like this, and then we're going to find the diode and pop that diode out. What we are removing, you're going to see letters here. D, C, B, and A. You guys see that right there? As you guys can read here. Locate and carefully remove both diodes, reference C and D, from the TX and RX unit. So, C and D are the 2 up top. Do not touch A and B. Do not mess this up, guys. So see, very, very carefully. Remove C and D. So, A and B are good, and how they want you to do it is they want you to take a soldering gun and melt the solder off to pull the diodes off. I've always just taken this little pick right here and I pop them off. Be very, very careful. It is, you know, very tedious, so you don't want to damage anything. So now let's go back to the radio and pop off C and D, as long as I can find it over here real quick. Okay, so as you guys see here, I'm gonna try to, if I can, show this. It's probably nearly impossible to see on camera, but right here is A Here's B, C, and D. These two right here, these two diodes. Again, guys, sorry, it's going to be very hard to see this on camera. But these two diodes right here, C and D, we're going to pop off. Not this very top one. See, there's another up top. Do not pop that off, okay? I really want you guys to see this so nobody messes up here. So if you guys, there we go. Right there, guys. Do not pop that very top one off right there. C and D only. So now I'm going to put this down and I'm going to pop these two diodes out. So like I said, I use this little pick right here. Again, be very, very careful. Alright, there's C. And I know, guys, this does suck, buying a brand new radio, taking it apart and doing this, but I'm trying to grab the diode and show you guys. There it is, right there. So here's C right here. Let me zoom in for you guys. Yeah, that little black thing right there. So that's one diode. This is C. So we're going to, well, take this and drop it because we're not going to use it. And now we're going to pop off D. So same thing. I'm going to just put a little pressure, and there it is. Popped off D. Right there, guys. There she is. Now we're all done. So now what you need to do is make sure everything works. And before you put it back together, inspect the radio, you know, make sure the contacts, make sure you didn't scratch anything, you didn't damage anything. C and D are off, A and B are still on. Everything looks good. So I'm going to put this radio back together and hope that I did it properly and correctly and everything still works. Let's turn it on. So now it's telling me to wait. See, guys, that's normal. All right. Now, let's go to our frequencies that we're trying to get to. We're trying to get into 150 and 154 frequencies. 5, 1, 7, 1, 5. Okay, now, if we push the button and I did this properly, this should work. Oh, look at that. No more beep. And we have a transmit light up here. See that? Bam. Now we're working. So there you have it, guys. That's how you modify those little handheld radios. And if you guys have other brands, you can DM me on Instagram. I'll put the link right here down in the description. It is at Duramax King 2500. You guys see I got a couple more radios right here that I have modified. These two Yaesus. These are very easy. Same thing, similar how the Kenwood is. But if you guys out there have different brands, DM me and I'll try my best to help you modify and help you get it working. Also, if you have the bigger ones like I have in the truck, I'll try to help you with that. The Kenwood, they're pretty easy, even the big ones. It's a little more tedious because you're taking more stuff apart, but it's not that difficult. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching this video. And if you guys like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to click subscribe. Peace.
Yeah.